In today's episode, I'm covering when and if you should include a course inside your membership, which memberships are best with a course element, and which are better off without. Welcome to the $1 Million Memberships Podcast, where we help female entrepreneurs like yourself start, grow, and scale multiple 6- and 7-figure online memberships with simple, step-by-step strategies that actually work.
Your life is about to get so good.
Let's dive in. What is up, everyone? Welcome back to another episode of the $1 Million Memberships Podcast. Today, we are getting all into the topic of if you should have a course attached and included with your membership. I get this question all the time. And the thing is, I think a lot of people, just because we're starting to see more memberships pop up, we're starting to see more of like the hybrid membership and course offer pop up, back-end memberships that have a course attached, and people just automatically think, well, if I have a membership, there needs to be videos, there needs to be modules, there needs to be a course element, or else it's not good enough. It's not enough for my members. So today we're really talking on if you should include one for your membership. Do you need it? Will it actually help your members? Will it overwhelm your members? Will it make your offer stronger? Is it required to hit multiple 6, 7 figures? We're breaking all of this down today. So let's get into first why we think we need a course in the first place. Again, most founders have a similar idea. You might have thought this, or you might be thinking this right now, is if I don't include a full course, people just won't think it's valuable. And the reason for this is we've really been conditioned to believe that more is more value, right? So like a course, that equals more value. More modules means it's better, it's more valuable. More content, it's better, more valuable, you can charge more for it. But in reality, memberships on their own are not courses. And the second that you try and turn your membership into a massive course library, you're creating a couple of problems. Number one is you are overwhelming your members, especially if it does not actually need to be there and it's just a bunch of documents thrown into your back end of your membership. And number two is if it doesn't actually need to be there, that's just causing more pressure for you. And at the end of the day, it's more to sell. And neither of these things actually help your retention. If you've listened to a lot of my other episodes on retention and engagement and what actually gets members to stay inside of your membership, you know it is not more stuff. You know it really comes from the community aspect. So if we're just first, before getting into if your membership needs a course or not, we just need to actually break down very simply first what a membership is, because at the end of the day, if you aren't very clear on what a membership actually is, then of course you're going to want all of these things that you think you need to have inside of your membership, like courses and modules and all of the things. But a true membership, what a true membership is its ongoing implementation. So it's something that people can stay in, reoccurring every single month for them to implement towards the goal that they're trying to get inside of your membership. It's community, it's support, it's proximity, being in a room of other people trying to achieve the same result, or being in a room with other people who may be 5 steps, 10 steps, 15 steps ahead of you. Having that proximity is huge for memberships. It's having accountability, and it's having a home for you to really have on your journey to get to the result that you're trying to get to. People aren't typically joining memberships just for information. And in fact, what keeps people inside of memberships is very rarely the information that they're getting. They're staying in there because they're seeing progress first and foremost. They're feeling supported. They feel connected to other people. And because of all that, they're actually getting results. So when you're asking yourself, does my membership need a course? That's actually the wrong question. The right question you need to be asking yourself is, what role does a structured course or structured curriculum play in the actual transformation that I am promising people? So that end result that you are helping people achieve, the reason people are coming into your membership, does it actually need a curriculum? Does it actually need a course model? Does there need to be a blueprint for people to follow to get that result? That is a really big difference. So for example, there are times when including a course definitely makes sense. You should be including a course if, number one, your membership solves a very specific step-by-step transformation. Number two, members need that foundational roadmap to really see the results or achieve those results easier. And number three, without structure, they'd feel lost. So for example, $1 Million Memberships Club, my membership, the result of my membership is to build you a 7-figure membership business. There are a lot of in-between steps that you take from just creating your membership for the first time, launching it for the first time, running it, bringing on new members, all of the things to getting to a 7-figure membership. There's hiring team, there's learning how to run an engaged community, there's learning how to structure your membership, there's specific automations that you want in place so that you're not doing everything by hand in real time all the time. There's a lot of things that go into it. So for something like $1 Million Memberships Club, it actually does make sense for us to have a course, because if you just came into $1 Million Memberships Club, yes, the community is incredible. Yes, the calls, I would arguably say, are where you get the quickest results being inside $1 Million Memberships Club, because it can be really personalized to you, and listening to other people and what they're working on is absolutely invaluable. But if you were just to be thrown into $1 Million Memberships Club without the actual framework of what you need to put inside of your membership, then that would be really confusing and that wouldn't work. So if you teach something similar to $1 Million Memberships Club or business building, or maybe you're teaching how to launch a podcast or how to start investing or how to build a really strong fitness foundation, like there's all of these topics where you have to really ask yourself that main question of what role does a structured course or curriculum play in the transformation that I promise. Really quick, I want to send you my membership starter kit completely free. And I might be absolutely insane for doing this because it's normally $147 and it's packed with templates, pricing guides, setup resources to launch your membership, naming your membership, literally all of the things. I want to send it to you for free. And all I ask in return is that you leave this podcast a 5-star rating and written review on Apple iTunes. That's it. Seriously, that is it. So pause this if you are listening to this on Apple Podcasts, scroll down to the bottom where you see the reviews, tap the 5 stars, leave me a written review, screenshot it before you submit it, and then send that screenshot to support@paigevandy.com. I will leave it all in the show notes for you. I'll leave the instructions in there, but that is literally it. Once we verify it, we'll send you the starter kit completely for free. No strings attached, just your review. I'll leave the instructions in the show notes, so it's so easy for you to do, and then you can come back and enjoy the episode. So if what you teach would be easier, would be clearer, would help your members get the results by having a structured roadmap, then that's a time that you want to have a course. But notice what I say here, a structured roadmap, not 87 modules, not 12 hours of just course video work that they have to sit through. You don't want it to be something that takes your members months to just get through the material and consume before they even can get any sort of result or engage or understand anything. You want to make it as lean as possible in order to get them that result. So something that really helps me when thinking about courses or resources or things to put inside of my membership is I'm not constantly looking at our course material and looking at, okay, what else can I add? You want it to be lean, you want it to be clear, you want it to be outcome focused, you want to essentially have as little as possible inside of your course hub to get them to that end result. Because at the end of the day, people are not coming into your membership and wanting to just sit on courses and sift through a material. They would love it if you could condense whatever it is that you are giving them in the most lean, compact, and effective way possible. And that's what you give them if they do need to have a result. So inside $1 Million Memberships Club, for example, we kind of do this in 2 ways. The first way is we have all of our blueprints, and our blueprints are built this way. I try and make sure that the blueprints are just as easy as possible to actually get people the result at the end of the blueprint as possible. I don't make it 20 pages. I don't make it 3 hours of videos. I truly try and put as little as possible in there that's going to give the best results still. That's not going to confuse our members, that our members are going to know exactly what they need to do. On top of that, another huge part of $1 Million Memberships Club is saving time with getting your membership up and running and built. And again, there's so many things that go into memberships. And so the other part is we have our template vault. Everything inside of the template vault is there to save our members time, and it's there because they actually need it. We're not just putting meditations and journal prompts and all of this stuff that people don't actually need to build the 7-figure membership business. So nothing goes in there that isn't actually something that they're going to use inside of their business. That is a hard rule. Now, on the opposite side of this, when you should probably not include a course. So your membership likely doesn't need a course if, number one, your value is mostly coaching, hot seats, or Q&A. You're not necessarily curriculum focused. It's more so about being in the community or answering people's questions in real time, or your transformation is ongoing rather than linear. So for an example, memberships that kind of fit into these categories would be things like mindset memberships. That is just so personalized. That's very much so the person is going through right then and there. Creative communities, networking communities, spiritual or identity-based communities. These are just examples of communities that actually truly just are about being in the community, are about being in the group, or are about meeting on calls and having that connection, whatever the end result is for your membership. It's getting together, meeting with people, and being in community. In cases like this, the connection and the live support that people are getting in the community and that people are getting on the calls, that actually is going to carry more weight than modules. That's going to be more valuable than just adding in modules to add in modules. If you force a course inside of your membership just to look more legit or to make you feel better about the value, you're just creating unnecessary work for yourself. And then you're also really risking your members focusing on the wrong things inside of your membership. If you're just putting a course in there to put a course in there, but you know that your membership is really built around calls and community, and that's where the results happen, then you are just giving your members one extra place to focus and risking them not actually showing up to the calls or the community because they think that those courses or those modules are in there for a reason and they are going to be a huge part of them getting their result. Another thing that's really important that I encourage you to think about before adding a course into your membership is understanding what the risk actually is associated with putting a course in there. And this isn't meant to sound scary because it's not, especially if you are someone like me, like you have a membership like $1 Million Memberships Club that actually truly needs a course, then this is different. But if you are just putting in a course to put in a course and you don't actually understand how memberships work, then that can get a little risky because then you're kind of just turning your membership into a course with a monthly payment plan. And you don't want to do that because that is going to kill retention. People are just going to consume the modules and then they're going to leave. You don't actually have a membership community when you do that. So that is the biggest thing I would really just make sure you are considering is first understanding if you are going to put a course, if it is required for your membership to put a course in there, that's completely okay and that's great, but also understand how to build community. I have great episodes on community building. I also run a live masterclass here and there on how to build a true sticky community. Go to the link in the show notes and you can see when our next one is running. That is a piece that is just going to be so important to make sure that you have down. You have that skill of community building down, because if you are just putting a course in there, hoping that people are going to find it valuable, and that's really what you're pushing and that's really what you're focusing on, you are just building a course with a payment plan, people are going to leave as soon as they get the information. So another question that you can really ask yourself here is if someone finished all of my content and videos in 30 days, why would they stay for month 2? Why would they then stay for month 3? If you can't answer that clearly, then your membership has the wrong priorities. It is so imperative that you understand how to build a community and make that the focal point of your membership. So let's just wrap this up really simply here so that you are crystal clear on if you need to have a course inside of your membership. So this is like a little simple decision filter that we can run through. So I've got 4 questions for you to run through here. And if you answer yes to all of these questions, then yes, your membership is meant for a course. Including a course will be a good move for you. But if you answer no to these questions, then just don't even force it. So here are the questions. Number 1 is, does my promise require step-by-step structure? Number 2 is, would members feel lost without a roadmap? Number 3 is, if I include a course, can I keep it lean and focused to get to the result? And number 4 is, the ongoing value bigger than the videos themselves? And just remember that more content does not equal happier members. It does not equal people staying longer. It does not guarantee more people are going to come into your membership. When it comes to memberships, retention truly comes from the community. Any course, any backend, any modules, resources solely need to be there if they actually have a purpose and if it is actually required for your members to get the results that they're wanting by being inside of your membership. That is it for this episode. Next week, we've got our Q&A episode, so make sure you are watching my Instagram stories at The Membership Muse for our questions box feature if you have any questions you want submitted, or you can just send me a simple DM if you want to make sure your question gets in there. Also, Spotify does this really cool thing now where you can leave comments on episodes, which I think is so fun. So you can leave them in there as well. But that is already coming up next week. And for any membership resources, trainings, all of the things, you can always go to the show notes and see what I have going on and whether we have a live masterclass coming up, any trainings, anything I have going on. I always stick it in the show notes for you guys. But other than that, I appreciate you, and I will see you right back here next week for our Q&A episode. Bye.